Hello my Leos, welcome to Scrappy Siren Tarot. If you're new here, thanks for being here. I will be doing your midweek reading. I felt called back to tarot reading. I've taken a break from it and recently felt guided to give you your reading. So I'm going to use the Osho Zen Tarot exclusively this time. I normally don't do that. I use a variety of decks, but today I feel guided to stick to this one. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this is for Leos for the middle of the week. We're coming up to Wednesday. See what's in the energies. I'm going to go ahead and pick 3 cards, preferably. We'll see what comes out. See what Spirit needs to tell us to guide us through the rest of the week. Okay, we have 1 flyer. Let's try to get 2 more. And to those of you who have stayed with me through this long hiatus of a break, thank you. I am back. I don't have a fixed posting schedule yet. I feel guided to just post videos when it feels right. So we'll start with that. All right, let's get 2 more from Spirit. What do Leos need to know at this time? Okay. And 1 more, please. Okay. So the first card out of the deck is card number 3, Isolation. Then we have card number 7, Projections. And card number 9, Exhaustion. So right off the bat, I got the sensation of a gust of cold wind. So that feels like there is some sort of abrupt, disjointed change going on in your life, or will be shortly, in the middle of this week. Looks like there will be some breakthroughs with the card of Isolation, which speaks to a release of emotions, a release of blockages in your life. Specifically with the card Projection, specifically ideas or impressions of people or things that no longer serve us. So it looks like you're going through some sort of emotional detox right now. Exhaustion is in the forefront this week. You may be feeling extra tired, more tired than you usually have. Maybe it's been a buildup of things just kind of piling on top of each other. Lots of blue in your cards, and blue, if I remember correctly, represents the crown chakra. So you may be dealing with a lot of racing thoughts, a lot of okay, what just popped into my head is the moments in which you find silence and solitude. Those moments are going to be where you have the breakthroughs. So if you allow your mind to relax at some point this week, things are going to come to you. So if you're looking for a breakthrough, if you're looking for a change, if you're looking for an end of loneliness, or you're dealing with frustration and exhaustion, it seems like Spirit wants to say you need a release, and you need a place to have messages come to you. So let's clarify all these cards, see if Spirit wants to guide us in a certain direction. I'm going to clarify each one and we'll continue on. All right, Spirit, please clarify the card of isolation. What is this referring to? What are we isolated from? This card speaks of the mind, so it's a suit of clouds, which means anything that has to do with thoughts and thinking. All right, so we have 3 cards that came out to clarify isolation, and I'm going to take them as is. So they all came out in reverse. So we have intensity in reverse, we have laziness in reverse, and we have ordinariness in reverse. Let me sit with these cards for a moment. Okay, so this is very clear. This is a very strong feeling coming through. So Spirit is guiding you. If this resonates, take it or leave it. If it doesn't resonate for you, it may not be your reading. That's okay. You may need to take some more time to yourself this week than you already budgeted for. It may be to process your emotions, but it may also be to relieve the intensity of your week. And intensity is in reverse, laziness is in reverse, ordinariness is in reverse. It looks like your message is to decrease the intensity with which you perform your day-to-day task, to slow down, to realize that is not laziness, it's intentional, and to seek out anything but the mundane. What I mean by that is look for things that you normally wouldn't do throughout the week. Take yourself on a date, go ahead and do things out of the ordinary. It almost feels like by doing this, Spirit will give you the opportunity to release any pain, whether it be physically, emotionally, or just built up stress. This is how you're going to get rid of it this week, is if you amp down, or like, take the amp down isn't even really a saying. I don't know why it just came through that way. Tune it down, right? Tune down your week. Like, slow down. Realize that is not laziness. It's intentional, okay? And take yourself out of the ordinary. You need to explore a new restaurant. Maybe go downtown. Take yourself out on a date. Go for a hike. Go out in nature. You need to do something that you normally wouldn't do. The more spontaneity, the better. So let's keep going. Let's clarify projections. There is a card that is upright already, so I'm going to take it. It looks like it didn't come out with the rest of the cards, but I'm going to take it as one of your clarifying cards as with projection. Let's get 2 more. Spirit for Leos, please. All right, please clarify projections. What is being projected? What do we need to... How do we seek this clarity? Okay. So the first card that was revealed earlier was Existence. It's a major arcana. We have Creativity. And we have, last but not least, Healing in reverse. Okay. You may be feeling or experiencing a little bit of brain fog this week, a little bit of tiredness. I know I mentioned that before with exhaustion, but it's not so much physical as it is mental. And Spirit is asking you to, with existence, to just observe. Just observe, don't judge. Let those feelings of exhaustion or the emotions that need to bubble up this week, let those come out. You're going through a detox. You're going through a transition. You're removing a lot of things that no longer serve you. And while you're releasing all of those negative things, be sure you're filling your cup as well with creativity, with things that make you feel productive, or productive is not really the right word, but connected to source. And it's a very colorful card. I wanted to say cord. Interesting. You may have to cut some cords from here, or maybe I'm also seeing a guitar. Maybe some of you play guitar. String a few chords together. Okay. And then we have healing in reverse. So when I look at this card, there's a hand placed on the abdomen and a hand placed on the head. And when it's in reverse, or when it's upside down, it almost seems like Spirit wants you to focus less on what's going through your mind and more on somatic or in the body exercises to process this. So make sure you're doing things like exercise or meditation, breathing, anything that gets you back in your body or makes you feel human again. That's going to help you heal. Things like analyzing, strategizing, thinking, talking about it a lot, it doesn't seem to be helpful this week. So keep that in mind. All right, let's clarify exhaustion, and then we're going to go ahead and pull a couple charms and see if they resonate. But don't worry, if they don't resonate, that just means that maybe it's the tarot cards that will. And it just helps target the reading a little bit more for certain people in the audience. All right, one more card, please. Okay, Spirit is very chatty about this particular card of exhaustion. All right, so the first that came out was silence. Yeah, that definitely goes with what I said earlier about being, anytime you feel the urge to speak before experiencing or feeling, give yourself a time, a certain period of time, or go for a walk before you express yourself. Because there's something about needing to get back into yourself, into your body, into your processing, into your your self-awareness, that is drastically more important than putting things out there. And that doesn't mean that you shouldn't speak up in certain situations, but I don't think it will be as much of use to you during this time. We also have playfulness in reverse. So a lot of us Leos seem to have forgotten a little bit of our playfulness, it seems like, and that's part of why the exhaustion has crept up, because we have forgotten how to play and we've gotten very serious and things have gotten heavy. We also have the Master in reverse. This card feels very different from the other cards, but there's a lot of moon symbolism throughout. We have the moon card, or the moon symbol in the creativity card as well. And then we have the stars in both silence and existence. So I feel drawn to connect these two. Give me one moment. Okay, another indication that silence is, the quiet is needed And it's not about being right or wrong. You need to ground yourself in existence and just feel. And it might be painful. So I am sorry in advance. I'm seeing a lot of like the veins in the arms of the lady on the creativity card. I'm also seeing vein symbols in the MasterCard. So increasing circulation would be good. Doing things like cardio would be good. But I'm getting a reference to blood. And when it comes to blood, that usually can mean you need a detox. All right, let's pull some charms. I know that got a little bit heavy. All right, so let's pull 6 charms. The first is a crown. Then we have a lock that's in the shape of a heart. For some of you, you may be dealing with relationship challenges that may be making it hard to focus on work. We have the music symbol. I don't know the name of it, but again, I get the impression that somebody in the audience does play an instrument, maybe a guitar or something along those lines. All right, we have the peace symbol. So protect your peace. Very important at this time. Listen to the music that makes you feel relaxed. And we have a bee or a yellow jacket. Some of you guys have been very busy, buzzing around is what I'm hearing, buzzing around. All right, last one is what steers a ship. Like I don't know what it's called. I always forget, but it's the wheel that steers a ship. And anytime you get off course and you forget that your peace needs to be protected, just redirect it. Some of you guys find water very healing and need to go swimming. That might help you. All right, so last but not least, I'm going to get your ally in your challenge. I'm going to start with the challenge. What is the challenge for Leos this week? Okay, that was quick. That was flew out of the deck. We have stress. Isn't that always the challenge? But this card specifically speaks to the stress of juggling multiple things at the same time and trying to manage everything all at once. I promise you, if you focus and you center yourself, like this message is saying, everything will be okay. You're not going to drop the ball. Things aren't going to disappear, or yeah. And if they do, maybe they weren't meant for you. All right, Spirit, what is the ally? What is going to help us throughout this week for the Leo collective? What will help us? Okay. Got 2 cards that came out. We have Mind in Reverse. Okay, again, getting out of our mind, getting out of our mental. Stop keeping, what am I trying to say? Prevent the gears from spinning and spinning and spinning. And then we have clinging to the past in reverse. So every day is a new day. Just remember that. Doesn't matter what you did in the past, doesn't matter how you reacted to certain things, how you address certain things, how you approach certain things. Every day is a new day, and you can start fresh. You can start completely over. All right, so we're gonna go into the ending oracle. with Star Codes Astro Oracle, and it's astrology specific. And I'm going to go ahead and read from the book, and then that will be it. And I hope you join me for my next tarot reading. Keep a lookout for that. I'll try to start posting more regularly now, but as it feels right. So if it's not super regular, bear with me. I'm only going to do it when it feels like a message is coming through. All right, Spirit, what is the ending message that we need to hear for this week? Ending message. Okay, that's too many. We just need one. Oh, there we go. This one decided to come out. All right, we have second house resources. This one has an arrow through an apple. Looks like a cherry blossom arrow, interestingly enough, and a pile of coins. I'll let you see that again. All right, so bear with me while I find the page. So it's card number 40. Okay, second house resources. If your chart were a village map, your second house would hold your bank, museum, and warehouses. It symbolizes what you value, such as your body and your relationship to the material world. The second house also describes that phase of infancy where you're just discovering that you have a body, toes, and fingers, and that you can taste and smell. Action. Explore how you feel about money. So many people on the spiritual path have mixed feelings about money, their bodies, and possessions, drawn to abundance and at the same time wrestling with guilt or discomfort around desire. The approach avoidance conflict around the material world can make it hard to focus on your efforts, and it may send out mixed messages until the universe doesn't know how to respond to help you. The second house asks you to build a clear and congruent message about your relationship to your resources that you can stand behind with integrity. Matter is our sacred vessel for spirit. Explore your attitude towards your first resource, your own body and sensuality. Look for that place of balance where you honor and respect your physical form, as well as the importance of the soul that inhabits it. Invest your energy toward what you value. This is where you can be a resource to others, and this is where you can get paid. Clean up your action in the material world. Clean closets, pay bills, deal with other practical things that might appear mundane but can be a sacred act of aligning the soul to the surroundings. Integrity creates a welcoming ground for bounty. Come up with a clear, integrated message to radiate out, then back that up with action. Challenge. What you see is not all there is. If you are looking for emotional, spiritual satisfaction in your stuff, it will never be enough, because it never quite scratches that itch. Gift. Your skills, your resources, and your interests can all be sacred if you make an offering of your intention and engage your work for the benefit of all sentient beings. All right, thank you, my Leos. Thank you for joining me if you're still here, and I'll see you next time. Take care.